move on. 6 question, thank you. The program provides an extensive range of high-quality resources, including both digital and print materials, to fully support the learning process. Are we good? Okay. Question number 7. The program includes text-to-speech as an available accommodation, ensuring accessibility for diverse learners. Yeah? Okay, question number 7. Now we're moving to content. Let me scroll down. Question number 8. The program includes robust scaffolding strategies, enabling teachers to build on prior knowledge and address diverse learning needs effectively. Good? Okay. Yes.
I just had a question on, I love the wording of this. I was just wondering, because I don't know that I saw it in any other of the questions, if it includes like, strategies or, ideas for teacher to differentiate or, have those kind of interventions in there. I know it says scaffolding, but again, that is a broad term. So I'm just bringing that up.
Yes.
12.
Partially, and we may need to revise question 12. Stephanie, if you need more clarity with that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Are we good though with question 8?
Yes.
Okay. Question 9. Content is mastered through small increments followed by integral practice and strategically placed assessments. Okay. Number 10. Lessons provide daily reinforcement and building of basic skills and concepts, mental math, and problem-solving strategies.
Oh, wait. I was wondering if we're going to a more back to the basics approach, if you want procedural fluency or some
Part of
type
question 10?
language.
So I have that question about this entire section in general or the section before with alignment. So basically my question was either in content or alignment, do we want to include a definition or goal for this indication to meet the needs of a back to basics program? So for example, in research of a back to basics program or a traditional learning model, you're going to see things like direct instruction, repetitive drills, practice, explicit instruction, worked examples, that I do, we do, you do model, lots of independent practice, immediate feedback, fact, procedural, mastery. So I don't know if maybe in general we want to add an indicator in here that requires us to look in depth into these programs and if they will be the best fit for a back to basics program.
That's a great suggestion. So we could absolutely just add a descriptor to that. So let's just think about wording, because you mentioned a few things and I think all of them are really essential to highlight the back to basics features of a program. So
I think Zoe just described the organization of lessons as well. It follows a certain format. So that would go under organization.
okay. So let's go back to organization. Where would you like to make a change, or do you just want to add another descriptor completely new? Okay.
Basic guidance to manage time and your operating. There, like underneath there, putting examples.
That's okay.
If you look at question.
Okay. Question number 4, where it says provides detailed pacing guidance. So when I see that, I think like year long, but could we include like another question or an addition to that, like the lesson plan pacing as well?
Sure. So it will be under organization.
Can I suggest a wording that we can start with, or kind of like a sentence starter?
Yes.
Provides the opportunity for direct instruction, including an I do, you do, we do, or a gradual release model. Provides the opportunity for direct instruction, including a gradual release model, parentheses, I do, we do, you do, if you want to include that. Separate from that one, this is also just a suggestion. And I haven't thought through a sentence starter for this one, but I do think that there is a need for an indicator that includes repetitive practice, explicit instruction, worked examples, logical sequence. On here, so when I look at the definition of what traditional learning model is memorization of formulas, algorithms, and procedures, heavy on repetitive drills and practices. So another indicator in there that has opportunity for practice.
Would you still include it under organization or content?
Content.
Say that again.
I think it might be organization because it still is, it's still within the you do, the we do and the you do. So that repetitive practice and that even the procedural knowledge is in the you do. So I do think that it would probably still be an organization.
She's still talking about the daily lesson structure.
Okay. It will be a new question.
Offers, that could be our sentence starter. Offers opportunity for repetitive practice or explicit instruction, repetitive practice. Before repetitive practice, it would probably actually be worked examples. And what it means by worked examples are examples that the teacher is using, kind of like in reading when you do a think aloud, but it's a math think aloud. So a worked example where you're showing your students what to do with that.
I agree wholeheartedly, but I think that's also in I do, the section of I do doing that model.
Yeah.
In explicit instruction is an I do. So we might just have to clarify and add information. But I do think the repetitive practice, that is a different descriptor.
So would you combine the first new descriptor that provides the opportunity for direct instruction, including gradual release module, and then add the explicit instruction with that maybe?
So explicit instruction is the I do part.
So do you want to combine it into one descriptor somehow?
Provides the opportunity for direct instruction, including the gradual release model.
What about direct
model.
and explicit instruction?
That's also direct instruction. They're synonyms.
Okay, then we just use one. So it's
They
not
are the
redundant.
same thing. I just think what is being said in the second one are more examples of it. So, and the biggest one that's missing from the top one is that real important piece of repetitive practice. But everything we're saying in the second one is in the first one.
Well, could it be provides repetitive practice and the opportunity for direct instruction, blah, blah, blah. Or provides the opportunity for repetitive practice and direct instruction, including
I would put
gradual
on the
release.
N.
It should be direct instruction before repetitive practice. So provides the opportunity for direct instruction, including gradual release model and repetitive practice.
Repetitive and maybe distributed if it's traditional.
Okay, so if we have that now as question 8, that question, the second one, the descriptor that was just added, we can take that one out. Are we good taking that one out? Okay.
It's
So let's,
It's repetitive.
Provides the opportunity for direct instruction, Okay, repetitive practice goes on the back end at the end, Loretta.
Provides opportunity for direct instruction including gradual release model. And yeah, repetitive practice. Sorry, I have one more. So just another food for thought is prioritizes the development of something along the lines of fact fluency, procedural mastery, algorithms, and problem solving.
That's more content, though, no? That's more content than organization.
Just one more thing on the one we just added. It should say I do, we do, you do, just for the gradual release, just for clarity.
Okay, provides the opportunity for direct instruction, including gradual release model, I do, we do, you do, and repetitive practice. Okay, and then you can remove those 2 lines, yes, and then the next one's gonna go in content. Zoe, do you still remember what you said for the one for content? That was a good one.
Yeah.
Prioritizes
It's in content.
10.
We
Can make a new one and then edit it to 10, or we can edit 10 or type it under 10 and then see if we can
just change the
combine.
question numbers. That's fine.
Prioritizes the development of fact fluency. Sorry, I'm jumping around in my notes here just to make sure I get all the terms I want. Procedural mastery, algorithms and problem solving, along with reasoning and understanding. Along with reasoning and understanding.
Okay, that's a good one. Where did we even stop? I don't remember. Okay, so we were still in content, right? Yes.
We were on 10 and I don't,
You think 10 should go?
no,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
You could just adjust it to lessons prioritize the reinforcement. So keep it as it is, the reinforcement of basic skills and concepts, mental math, then take off that problem solving and then put everything we just said.
So just basic skills and concepts and mental math.
Keep deleting all the way to fact. Yep, comma, yep.
No, you have to put comma.
Put a comma. Okay, we could keep the row just in case we want to add something. So number 10 reads, lessons provide prioritize the daily reinforcement and building of basic skills and concepts, mental math, fact fluency, procedural mastery, algorithms, and problem solving along with reasoning and understanding. Are we good with this? Yeah? Okay. We'll wordsmith the punctuation, yes.
Remember, comma after problem solving.
Yes. Okay, so if you are okay, I'll move to question 11. Are we good to go? Okay. Question 11. Lessons incorporate diverse representations such as real-life examples, drawing equations, verbal descriptions, and graphs to enhance learning. Are we good? Okay. 12. The program ensures higher level mathematical thinking is accessible to all students, including diverse student subgroups such as English language learners, at-risk students, high achievers, and students with special needs. Stephanie, I think this is yours that you want to add or
Yes.
revise.
Yes, and that's what it goes back to with the word scaffolding. I love that word scaffolding, but I also think that it would be nice if the program had, suggestions, interventions, strategies for teachers to use if they are wanting to help the kids that want to move forward or higher, or kids that are struggling and at risk and need extra support. I think there should be ideas in there for the teacher.
It should include resources for intervention and enrichment.
Yes. Well said.
Good question.
So I wonder
It's
if we want to
content.
add that to 8. The program includes scaffolding, strategies, suggestions for intervention, enrichment. Like we can,
Yes.
Sure. I think that's good. So,
robust scaffolding's cracking me up. I don't know. I don't know if we need that descriptor, but
we can absolutely take it out, Erica, if it makes you uneasy.
Yeah.
For enrichment or for intervention and enrichment.
Sorry. The program includes scaffolding strategies for intervention and enrichment, enabling teachers to build on prior knowledge and address diverse.
So just delete all what you're writing right now, and then delete, you've already typed it, and then delete suggestion.
That's good. That reads well. Stephanie, does that work?
Scaffolding down. Yeah, like,
In your lesson,
yeah.
enrichment and intervention, technically can be two, but most curriculums should provide that as an outside resource to use, not within your lesson, but to use as an elemental.
So we like 8, right? So how do we feel about 12? 12 is good? Okay. So let's move to 13. Erica, you had something?
yeah, I think we can delete 13. They're not having a dual language program at Loretta Zumbro. Correct, Bruce?
Okay. Delete 13.
I have a suggestion to add as a 13 instead of what we currently have. So the only other two things that I think are super important in a Back to Basics program is that we specify that teacher guidance is given for immediate feedback and guided questioning within the independent practice piece. Because a big piece of your traditional learning model is that independent practice, but it isn't just here you go. It's most curriculums will provide rubrics for if your child or if your student is struggling with this or that, what might support them, or questioning for specific things they're coming across. Like a student is not doing a specific thing, and there is like questioning that can be provided to the teacher to support them in questioning their student.
Wouldn't that be scaffolding in a sense?
But so the reason why I'm bringing it up for the independent practice is it's aside from the assessment. In their independent practice, as a teacher is circulating the room, it should be immediate feedback and guided questioning with what they're doing. So not an assessment, independent practice.
Monitoring it. Monitoring questions.
The questions are for the students to deepen or solidify their understanding.
So your student is making a mistake as you're walking by, you see that, and you're giving guided questions to get them back onto the right track.
So how could we put it as a descriptor?
Teacher guidance is given for immediate feedback and guided questioning.
Independent practice.
Given for immediate feedback and
You said guided questioning, right?
I wonder if you can just add to question 9, since it's talking about how mastery is formed through small increments by integrated practice and guided questioning or some.
So the reason why I want to separate it from assessments is because we're coming from
Question 9 is in content, not assessment.
strategically placed assessments on question 9.
Yeah.
Integrated practice, though.
Integrated practice. Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I think it's super important to put this is because if your back to basics program is getting away from your exploratory, there's just two totally different ways of engaging in the independent practice. I'm also coming from a background of working for the curriculum company, so I also know exactly what I'm trying to say that they offer, but I'm not wording it correctly. So it's basically like in your independent practice, they would give you a graphic organizer that says, if your student is struggling with this, here's some possible guided questions to get them back on track. And I want to make sure they offer that to your teachers who a back to basics program is new for them. So what type of questioning can they offer? If that makes sense.
I'm wondering if that's not, I hear what you're saying because I think I can visualize what you're talking about. I think that's going to belong down in the teacher support section and not the content necessarily. Yeah. Possibly. So we're not getting muddied into the content of what students are learning versus how we can support teachers within the content of the lesson. So maybe let's hold on to that idea and not take it, like highlight it for now, Loretta, because we might move it down into the, or maybe let's just move it down there because it doesn't, I don't think it belongs in the content. Yeah, down in, yeah.
Last part of the question.
And it even goes with 17.
Yeah. Yeah, execution. Yeah, yeah. Including, and we could just say including, or we can just leave it like that. And then if this program offers extra questions then or suggestions, then that's a little bonus point, clearly apparent, and that would be a score of a 3 for that product.
Including teacher guidance.
Yeah.
For immediate feedback.
Yep.
And guided questioning.
Yep.
That's like a super important point is that if it had that, it would hit a 3.
Yep.
If it didn't, it would be a
not.
2.
Yep. In number 17, so we've kind of jumped now, but provides variety of high quality resources and tools to support teachers in lesson planning and execution, including suggested
Teacher guidance for immediate feedback and guided questioning.
there we go. Worse than the Dinger,
Are we okay to move up? Is this good? Okay.
than the Dinger job.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving to question 14. This is under assessment. The program provides strategies for gathering information about students' prior knowledge and identifying common student errors and misconceptions. Any comments? Are we good to move on? Yes? Question 15. The program provides comprehensive and varied assessment tools, offering timely and constructive feedback to support learning. Are we okay moving on? Okay. Question 16. The program supports a varied system of ongoing formative and summative assessments, utilizing formal and informal methods to monitor progress.
She keeps turning it off. She uses it all the time, and then she turns it off. Sorry. But how about organizing the data? Do they have organizational tools with that data? You know, a guidance in how to use that data. That's my question. Because I keep getting emailed all these spreadsheets from the district, and it's like, put your data here and put your data there, and
It's almost another good spot for the word user-friendly or accessible. So it should be something that pulls it for the teacher, aggregates it for the teacher, offers, most of the time it'll offer like where to go next.
Like
I think it's just a spot for user-friendly or accessible.
yeah, teach.
Like
So how would you,
reports?
would you then revise question 16 and add that to it? How would that read then?
I mean, but comprehensive and varied is basically that.
Varied tools.
Or 16, the program supports how to use that information, or teacher-friendly organization and usage of that information.
Maybe it's a separate one for data or a separate idea about data. Offers comprehensive data or offers real-time data or actionable
Organization.
data.
I think you have those, but I thought you wanted to organize the data, the student data
That
from
would be a
the
separate,
assessments.
that might be a separate question then, right?
Because
That's a,
we need to use that data.
Loretta had a great suggestion that this may go under teacher support.
No, I think it goes under assessment. I think it is actionable data,
Yes.
like data that you can take action on.
Yes. 17.
That's,
So add a new descriptor.
it's just a suggestion. I don't know what other people think.
We could add a new descriptor. How would you want to word it?
Program
Program
offers.
provides comprehensive and
I don't-
varied assessment tools.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what kind of program we're looking at attaining. Is it going to be a multi-leveled program or is it going to be a single-leveled program? Because if it is single-leveled, then your program won't necessarily offer you any sort of data system. But if it's a multi-level program, then it should offer you a system that organizes your data, pulls your data, gives you actionable steps to take. So I guess that is a question of if we're going to give something a 3, are we looking for something that's multi-leveled? Multi-leveled meaning that you have a instructional program and probably like an assessment program or an intervention program to go along with it.
I'm not sure.
Why don't we separate those, the levels, right? So it's writing right now to a single level program, from what I hear you saying. So if you want the assessment and the digital part, right? The assessment or a computerized,
Yes, most of the time it would be, but also you could have an assessment piece where it doesn't necessarily have to be computerized because they can do it paper-based and you can put the data in yourself. I've seen that too, but computerized would be better. So, I mean, it wouldn't hurt it wouldn't hurt us to put something in about data, and then if the program doesn't have it, it just doesn't get that score for that one. But I think we think about if our shining gold curriculum was to have a program that offers us actionable data, we may want to put that on here so we can assess them.
So we're adding a descriptor. Yep.
Would that mean that in 16 we would add, online availability for the students to take their assessment so that it can?
The program offers a digital
Yes. digital
Assessment and data
format.
tool.
Does this work?
data analysis tool.
Yeah, data analysis tools, yes. So that we can use it for
Are we good with this one?
yeah,
Yes?
yeah.
Okay.
And we also know that that's an expensive.
Okay, so we'll move, if everybody's okay with the added descriptor.
I've got one
Okay.
more thought. Could
Can we
add
just
to
hold on for a
number,
second? Can you just hold, unless you want to add to it if it's something that,
No, we were just talking about the digital part. We're just explaining, it didn't mean taking the test on a computer. It meant you're entering the data in itself and then that's going to tell you where it's going to go from there.
sure.
We were just explaining that
Oh, sure.
misconception, sorry.
Rebecca, you had something?
I was just thinking about the digital and the paper option that we might want to add that to 15, that the program provides comprehensive and varied assessment and tools, including paper and digital options, offering timely constructive feedback. If I'm thinking about the shiny best of the best of the best.
Are we okay to move on to teacher support? Okay, so we are on question 17. The program provides a wide array of high quality resources and tools to support. So I need to actually read what's here, not on my paper anymore. The program provides a wide array of high quality resources and tools to support teachers in lesson planning and execution, including teacher guidance for immediate feedback and guided questioning. We edit that. Are we good with that descriptor? Yes? Okay. Moving to question 18. The program offers robust support, Erica's favorite word, to enhance teachers' understanding of math content, aiding effective instruction. Would you like to revise that, or are you good with this? Yes?
I think maybe if we can just add in the program offers robust support to enhance teachers' understanding of math content and strategies. It has to have multiple strategies. And then aiding effective instruction.
Okay. Well, that was our last question here.
Good.
Okay, so the next step is Loretta made all the changes. We cleaned this up, and I'll be sharing this with you so you have the electronic copy. Yes.
Do we need to remove the highlighted green? Oh, you did.
Loretta already did.
I do have one more thing, and it's a big glaring vocab, a big glaring thing with back to basics is spiraled instruction. So I do think that there has to be somewhere in there within content that we have to put that it spirals the content, because that's the biggest thing with back to basics is you teach something and it's honestly kind of quick with practice, but it spirals over and over and over throughout the year. It's not like one piece of content and then the next piece of content.
So what about the question 9? Let's look at this.
Add distributed practice in there.
I was thinking the daily reinforcement at number 10. That when I saw that, I was thinking spiral review. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I just think it definitely needs to have something, the word spiral review and content connections.
Or the question 10, like the yes, content is mastered and spiraled through small increments. No?
Where's that?
No, I was thinking 10, daily reinforcement
Oh,
of
is it-
spiral review.
No, I want that. No, actually,
They have spiral in it already?
but the one that's actually 10 now. On
Put
the
it,
screen.
no, that's 11, okay?
Cheryl's talking about.
Oh, you're saying add spiral in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So question 10, content is mastered and spiraled through small increments followed by integrated practice and strategically placed assessments.
Can we look at the organization ones that we added?
We did not put that in there, no.
Probably 4.
Well, it could be the program is spiraled and offers clear and logical sequencing of lessons, ensuring smooth transition. Oh, I don't know, maybe not.
But it also can fit under question 8 because most traditional math programs have that distributed practice already built in to the lesson design.
Maybe we say something about the scope and sequence is appropriate to grade level and then provides spiral review or like something
Okay.
about spiral.
Something about the scope
Yeah.
and sequence.
So add another question,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that will be under organization, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
It could be 3. The program offers clear and logical scope and sequence of lessons, ensuring smooth transitions from known and unknown concepts, facilitating student understanding, and providing spiral review.
Yeah, or including spiral review. What do you
Yeah,
think?
or including spiral review.
You like that?
3, question 3. So literally at the end, just including spiral review, opportunities for spiral review. No, it just should include spiral review, built in. Mhm.
Yeah, that is the scope and sequence there.
And then put logical scope and sequence. That's the first line. Sequence. Thank you. And then, yeah, perfect.
Don't even have to have
Okay.
one lesson.
Okay, the program offers clear and logical scope and sequence of lessons, ensuring a smooth transition from known to unknown concepts, facilitating student understanding
You don't need of lessons, just delete of lessons. The program offers
after
clear
sequence
and
of lesson. So student understanding through spiral review.
facilitating student, no, because it just needs to be an added piece. It shouldn't just be,
So maybe we just need to move. The sentence just reads a little awkwardly for me.
ensure concepts, facilitating student understanding. Comma, including spiral.
Yeah, that works.
It's not great, but it's exactly what we're trying to say.
This is math. It doesn't have to be literally perfect.
Okay. Any other comments or need for revision before we move on? Okay, if there's nothing else that we need to revise or add, I'm going to move to item number 1.4, which is upcoming committee meetings. You all should have a copy of the timeline for the pilot in front of you, and I do want to address this because there was a question from one of the vendors that we need to clarify. So as you're looking at your timeline, does anybody need a copy? Let me just make sure first. Okay, so as you're looking at your timeline, we are meeting today, January 23rd, and we'll meet again on the 28th, which is next, I believe, Tuesday. And at that point, we're looking at the resources and using this revised rubric, we're going to score the resources. So that is the objective for the meeting. After that, we are presenting the 2 resources that we selected. We have a board update for February 3rd and just present information, basic information about the resources. And at that point, we'll begin a 60-day public review, which means the resources will be put up in the district office's lobby, and public will have access to review them both electronically or in person. Then we'll be meeting on February 6th And this is where I have a question for you. So we have a meeting for the first vendor that we choose, and our meetings are normally scheduled from 4:30 till 6. The vendor's training is 2 hours, so we need to adjust it. So the question is, are you available to come at 4? So it will be 4 to 6, or it will have to be 4:30 till 6:30. It will be an online training here in the boardroom, but I just want to make sure that everybody is available to come earlier. And if you're not, then we'll just have to extend for the 30 minutes. We just don't know if any of the teachers. Does anybody have a conflict with 4 o'clock? You guys get out. Okay, so then we'll just have to keep it 4:30 till 6:30. So just giving you a heads up. So for the training, we'll need 2 hours.
If we have that much notice, though, can we come up with a plan for coverage? We're all at Freedom. Are you also for? Is it feasible to find coverage for our classes and our
Yeah,
and our?
I would like to try and work
I think
something out.
that we can decide that at the next meeting, so you can see if you can problem solve it on your site, and then we'll.
I just need to let the vendor know like as soon as possible.
Well, next week is as soon as possible, unless they get back to us
next week?
earlier.
Tuesday next week.
Yes.
Okay. Is that okay? So just please, one of you at least. Not everybody has to. Just as long as there's a consensus, just reach out to me. Let me know. And if if we need to start at 4:30, we'll start at 4:30. That'll be okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
The committee 2 years ago, didn't we get the resources ahead of time to look at before we evaluated with using the rubric?
The resources will be placed in the room here, so you'll be evaluating during the session we're meeting. You are only getting your own resources right during the training when you're taking them with you for the pilot.
Anna, if you want to come earlier and look at them,
It's already set up.
They're already out there.
We had an opportunity to kind of get our hands on
Absolutely.
They're all set up in the hallway. So I will be sharing the rubric tomorrow. So you have the revised rubric. So anytime you want to come, absolutely, you can come earlier. They're already out there, yes.
Are we allowed to do outside research?
These are the selected programs.
reviews and everything like that ahead of time for 2 years ago.
I'll have Erica answer that.
Are we allowed to know what the programs are?
They're out in the hall.
They are already set up.
What Adria's talking about is we had QR codes that we sent to you guys to the committee, and they were able to do the research on the company.
The QR codes are already included. Everything is printed next to the resources. There's already a page for each resource, and it's already included. Yeah, we can
Z
share.
can send that out tomorrow.
I can share it with the rubric. Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah. Okay, that was I wasn't understanding your question then. No, that's quite okay. I'll make sure that that's emailed. Absolutely. Okay, so when you look at the rubric, if you're new to the piloting, we have a certain number of days that we pilot. So our first showcase will be February 6th. And at that point, you get your resources and you are literally starting, well, February 6th is Thursday. So you're starting Monday piloting with your students. And this pilot will conclude on March 25th. At that point, we'll get feedback from you about pilot 1, and we have vendor showcase number 2, March 25th. And then for meeting number 5, it's May 5th. That's the end of your pilot 2. We'll get your feedback, and then we'll discuss both of the resources at that point. And our goal is to present our selected resource to the governing board on May 12th, which would ensure timely order of resources for next year as well. Hopefully. Use the microphone, please.
Can you hear? Okay. Again, the last time we were asked what unit kind of we were on, so we could compare apples to apples. For like, we did the same thing for both Open Up and Engage New York, what we did last time. So are we going to be asked which ones, or are we just going to be teach whatever you want, or what?
So I shared with the vendor, I looked at the pacing guide for the upcoming units, and I shared all the standards for all the grade levels represented here with the vendor. It's not, she said it's a little messy, but she already shared a document with me, and I'll clean it up before the first pilot that identifies certain units in the piloting materials that would align to your upcoming standards. So that way, as you are approaching the standards, you have an opportunity to use the piloting resource to teach those standards with them.
Because like February 6th will be on one unit, and then the next in March will be on another unit.
I know you
so-
you are literally like in between two units, absolutely. But we broke it down into standards, understanding that it's not going to be perfect. It may be a little messy, but we tried to align it as close as we could with the resource, and they shared a document that I'm going to clean up a little bit more.
I think we're all like entirely different grade levels too, so it wouldn't make sense for us to be in the same unit. So I think hopefully. Mhm.
I mean, we're kindergarten, so we're like on.
That's why we have a standard base, because some people may have pacing slightly off than the pacing guide. So we want to make sure that depending on the standard coming up, you have access, and there is an identified unit or part of the unit that goes with the standard.
Yeah, I would love the opportunity to be able to move around within it, because I'm also wanting to make sure if I am piloting this, I do still care about my data on the district assessment, and I want to make sure that I'm meeting that need. And
Yes.
if I decide as I'm going through it, this is not what I need to be able to move around.
Absolutely.
So not super strict guidelines.
Not like we're all the same unit, K
Yeah,
through.
I want flexibility, not like extreme guidelines on my piloting of it.
Yeah, you want to see what it's all.
Okay. Okay, so if there are no more questions or comments, no, this is nothing personal. We'll move to item number 1.5, which is adjournment. So thank you for taking your time with us from your busy day. And we'll be sharing the rubric with you electronically together with the QR code, so you can start accessing that information online. Again, all of that is already set up in the hallway, so you can start as early as you want to, but don't feel pressured. You'll have time on Tuesday to just use the rubric and complete that during our next meeting. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I adjourn the meeting.